So crazy how like that song just you can hear that song. I can listen to it at nighttime and vibe to it while I'm
Yeah.
driving, and it's talking about the sunshine.
It's like Florida theme song.
You know what I'm saying?
Vibing on the sunshine.
Oh my lord, that song right there brings
That's
back
why I came to
memories.
Florida, dude. Is to vibe on the sunshine.
You know what I
I
mean?
really did. I wanted to come and just start over.
Man, I saw the other night this guy Roy Ayers perform at the Tiny Desk concerts,
Oh, right on.
and he's like 80 years old at this point, and I mean, it's for what he's doing, like at that age, it's still sounding dope as hell. It made me think of Paul. I was like, damn, I wish I could have seen this live with Paul. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, you know what I mean?
Right.
Anyway, welcome to Making Noise in the Kitchen.
Whoop
I am
whoop.
your boy Carlo Banga, aka Don Perignon.
And I am Uncle Mario, aka the Senator.
Yeah. Hey.
Yeah, it's fun.
So what's crackalating out here in this world today?
Dude, it's always the same thing out here. It's the virus. You know, you can't get away from it.
I know. I don't know. Like now, I feel kind of normal. Like I said the last episode, I feel normal out here. I feel like it's just now, like shoot, I was in the McDonald's drive-through, obviously starving, and shoot, my car had a little malfunction and went out, and I was pushing my truck back to the parking spot, and I turned around and there's a bar there, and it looked like date night galore out that thing.
That's Port St. Lucie
It
for
was
you.
everybody was there, but like I'm pushing my truck, and I turn around and there was like 15 people on my truck pushing it.
Right
And I
on.
was
Hey,
like, all right, no
at
doubt,
least
yeah.
it's good to know that
You
the
know what I'm
mob's on your
saying?
side.
But they was all like dressed out, ready to go, no mask, no nothing. They're like, let's go.
Right. It's basically because we're all so free and here in Port St. Lucie, we're all so free spirited that
Yo,
we can't be bothered to put masks on.
they were
you know?
all chilling, and I mean, it was whatever. But like, it was a night of UFC on Saturday, but it wasn't fights that like the average people will go out to watch. Like you gotta like
That was
really
the night
like
before the Super Bowl?
UFC. Yeah, this was before the Super Bowl, so you gotta like the UFC in order to and watch these fights. So that's why I was kind of shocked. I was like, this little bar, why is it packed like that? As people are tired.
Well, and people were like,
They're
the
like-
Super Bowl's tomorrow. Let's get out. Let's
Yeah,
have a
that
couple
too.
of drinks,
That
and then
too.
tomorrow we can rest at home.
I seen a full blown rap concert at the night before the Super Bowl in Tampa, like straight up, like sea of people holding up
Cameras.
they phones and everything. Like everything is back to normal here in the state of Florida.
Crazy. Well, listen, everything, everything could be as normal as they want it to be, but now they got this new crazy African strain coming through, and dude, if you're not vaccinated, and nobody our age is eligible yet, so I mean, you still got to be scared. You still got to be worried. There's still people dying out there of this craziness.
Well, I ain't getting no vaccine. I'll tell you that right now.
I want a double.
I don't want nothing right
Hook
now.
it up. I want a double.
I don't want nothing right now because I feel like I don't know. It's weird because all the movements that I made, and after what I saw at the supermarket today and everything, I'm like, how I ain't have corona yet.
You probably did. Like I said, that's why you got the
And-
antibodies. That's why it doesn't
and-
bother you now.
Straight Wolverine. I'm straight Wolverine out this bitch. Nah, but yeah, I don't know.
It's probably one of those mornings where you got up and you're like, and you just like felt like hell, and you thought it was from drinking or whatever else, and it was the corona. The corona snuck up in there.
Said Corona was like, hello, goodbye, real quick.
Exactly.
I don't know. I don't think I ended up getting Corona. I don't know. If I did, then nah. I think I would have felt something. And like
You
my
probably the guy that
allergies,
gave it to me.
my allergy, nah, all that, nah. I was working at the hospital.
Asymptomatic. He's sitting around like
I was
getting
working
everybody
at-
infected.
I was working at the hospital like a mug, yeah.
You sure were, yeah.
I was in there
We
day
were
and
both- we
but I
both-
was
we
always
both were.
masked up, and then I mean, I was double masked up too, because I don't like those regular surgical masks, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Especially if I'm cooking, like them things just move around and everything like that, and then I'd have to shave off my beard or whatever. I mean, whatever, but
Right.
it's like I had my cloth mask and had the surgical mask over that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I mean, who knows? Who knows?
And listen, you never know. Like when I got it, you know, the only place I was testing for it at the time was Martin Memorial North.
Yeah, the one that I was at.
And then I went and got the test, but I swear to this day that was a false negative, because I had the symptoms for over a month, and then I had lingering symptoms till today. So
You walk around with corona is what you trying to say, nigga?
no, I don't. It's their no. I'm sure I have. I'm sure I have the antibodies in me now, but yeah, you still have this long lasting effects from the corona, this whole corona thing.
How you feel about this? Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby hasn't taken a shower in about 2 to 3 weeks because of coronavirus.
Bill Cosby's a slob. That's what it comes down to.
Well, I mean, they're saying that this is, because in jail, they're not taking care of that. It's a proven
Hopefully
fact.
he's keeping people 6 feet apart in jail, in the showers in the jail.
I mean, regardless, he's in risk, you know what I mean, being in the cell, you know what I mean?
He got his own shower and everything else anyway.
So I'm sure what happened is they made sure that they put him in a cell with somebody, probably the same stature or just whatever, good dude or whatever.
Right.
And he stays inside that cell and doesn't go out so he doesn't contract COVID or whatever, you know what I'm saying, because it's out there. Right. But he eats in the cell, everything, you know what I'm saying? So he hasn't been able to shower because they're not taking care of people in prison when it comes to COVID. I've seen some horror videos in there of it's bad.
Well, I think the next people that are going up for the shots are people from prison.
Get the out of here.
I'm only kidding.
I'm about to say.
It goes in order. Old people, doctors and nurses, teachers, convicts.
No, so how do you feel about that? You try to brush that off about Bill Cosby. How do you feel about him not taking a shower for weeks because he?
I think he's the dirty pig. He's a pig. No, there's no reason to not take a shower.
Oh, because everything with him, all his charges and everything.
No, just because.
What you mean? There's no reason to.
Listen.
He's trying not to get COVID.
There's a sink in his room, isn't there?
Huh?
There's a sink in your room, right? Isn't there? There's a sink in those. Everybody's got a sink.
Yeah,
in their
we
room
don't know what the nigga doing, but he can't go to the shower stall because there's.
I thought he just took the funk with him.
No, there's he's not leaving the room because he's trying to stay away from COVID. He's trying to survive.
That's his bag. If that's what he wants to do, let him do that. The guy's what, 110?
I don't know, close to 90. So that nigga's inching surviving right now. He probably gonna die in jail. Ain't that some crazy shit?
Well, he should have thought about that when he was drugging, chicks and stuff like that.
That's wild. 20 years ago.
Well, doesn't matter, but he did it a lot of times.
Yeah, it's a little weird story with him, but how do you feel about that? With, a chick all of a sudden claiming rape on you 20 years later?
Oh, boy. I don't know. I honestly, I understand both aspects of it, but oh my God, just
20 years later. I was involved in a situation where a chick claimed rape. Alright, so this girl that you've actually met her. We had a Christmas at my house, upstate New York. Yeah, that girl. My homeboy at the time, who I really know, you know what I'm saying? I know this nigga. We all hang out, you know what I mean? And they were up in my room upstairs, and I was in the living room with her homegirl. And they came downstairs like a regular old night or whatever. And she was like, oh, he gonna give me a ride home, because she lived on the road behind me or whatever. So she was like, he gonna give me a ride home. And I was like, oh, all right, bet that. You know what I'm saying? I'll check you out tomorrow. It was 4 a.m, whatever. They all dipped out or whatever. And regular night. And the next day I went to work, And I was at work, and all of a sudden, my boss goes, "Yo, the state troopers are on the phone for you." And I go and pick it up. I'm like, "Hello," but there was nobody on there. I was like, "What kind of shit is that?" And then a couple minutes later, like, somebody on the phone for you. And I go, and it was Shorty's brother. And she was like, "I don't get along with this nigga like that." You know what I'm saying? And he was like, "Hey, yo, can you come to my house and talk to me real quick?" I'm like, "All right." I go over there, and he's like, "Yo, your homeboy raped my sister." And I was like, "Excuse me? Like, what is you talking about?" And he's like, "Yeah, she's over getting tested right now at the police station and everything, getting a whole rape kit and all that. And they're going to his house to arrest him. And meanwhile, they're in front of my house, taking pictures of my house and shit. The press." I was like, "What in the hell?" I didn't know what was going on. Like, I was just so, I was like, "But how?" Like, they all just left, one downstairs, everything like that. And mind you, this is at the time when Mom is in Puerto Rico. This is at the end.
Yeah, I remember.
Mom was in Puerto Rico, and this dude, my ex stepfather, was out messing with another broad or whatever, and so he came to my house spazzing on me. As the police was there, I had the nerve to tell the police I'm gonna wear a wire and everything, do whatever it takes. I was like, "Get the out of here, yo! That's my homeboy." And I'm like that. At that point, I'm 16 years old. So in my head, I'm like, still, so a girl yells rape. It's like, ooh, you know what I mean? But then it's like, that's my homeboy, and I'm like, he don't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yo, that's very weird or whatever. Long story short, they end up getting him, and I'm going to court and everything like that. And I'm like, I see him getting, in chains coming in and everything. And she messed up by calling me and talking to me and trying to, I asked her, I was like, what happened? This is my house. Let me know what's going on. And she was just fumbling with the story everywhere. She was lying. And so his lawyer called me. I was like, "I don't know. I think this bitch is lying." And then comes out, they digged out more, and she was lying. She was lying about the shit. You know what I'm saying?
But
And
why? Why was she lying?
I don't know. Really don't know. I mean,
Because that's the part
smashed
that
her. We're at 16 years old, and so at that time, like, look, let's say, all right, so she was like Nick's girlfriend, but Nick was trying to smash, couldn't smash. All of a sudden, she's chilling at my house. I ended up smashing. You know what I'm saying? But like, she's not my girl or whatever.
Right.
And so like, this is around that time. Everybody's coming to my house and hanging out or whatever. And so I don't know if like she got upset in her crazy ass mind that he was hitting on her, and he probably could have smashed, but yet maybe she wanted to be with me or somebody else. And you know what I mean? Maybe got scared. I don't know. Like, it was a very weird situation. Like, why do that? You know what I mean?
And that's the question I always ask. I'm like, why would anybody
Yeah.
put themselves through that?
And to lie on a dude,
if it's not true.
You know what I mean? And like, the courts will bury you. Like, the courts are not taking the side of a dude, obviously.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they hear that, they running and tearing the dude down. So like, when I see that or hear shit like that, I'm like, so you mean to tell me you're gonna wait 20 years and then all of a sudden say he did this, he did that?
I don't know.
It's very, it's like, I'm not disrespecting. I ain't, saying nothing about these women or anything. But that
one
looks
of those,
crazy.
That's one of those questions that I leave for the professionals. Because
the professionals sometimes ain't even worthy to answer that goddamn question.
You're true about that.
That's why people are taking shit in their own hands. Look at Shorty, and I think it was in Michigan or whatever. Her little brother, 16 years old, got murdered, and this bitch went and found the dude who murdered her brother and killed his ass, and then texted her little brother's phone and said, I told you I'd get him, and I got him for you. And that's the only reason why the police found out, is because she texted her little brother's phone, as for her. Right. And that's why people take shit in their own hands. But now she doing like life. She probably gonna do life in prison.
Well, listen,
but I mean,
I usually don't side on this lie on the side of the people that commit murders. I understand why people, in some cases, I totally understand why some people take law into their own hands
Mm-hmm.
because it's so frustrating how you have to go through the system and then the system ends up shitting on you. You know.
Yeah. You know, a
So-
rapper was criticized. Well, ex-rapper. I guess he was kind of criticized the other day for a statement that's been made by a lot of rappers through time and just a lot of street niggas. But he said, you know, if I knew the dude who killed my mother, I ain't talking to the police.
Well, there you go. You know. Yeah.
You ask me if I would do the same. I'm not talking to the police neither.
Right.
For what? So you can apprehend him and put him in jail depending on what race he is,
Exactly.
and then what? He's gonna sit in a fucking cell for years, and before he
20
sees a
years,
court
30 years, yeah.
court case, and then gotta relive the whole thing again.
Yep. Yeah, it's more of a burden on the family and friends that are left behind, you know, than anything else. And that's the way the court systems make it. So they make it difficult, you know. I always say to myself, why make things difficult? They should make things as simple as possible, you know.
In India, they cut your hand off, you get caught stealing.
Right on. And that's what they should. Well, that's a little extreme. That's a little extreme. So I don't know about
No, I'm joking.
maybe a finger.
Nah, but I mean, in instances like that, in instances like, yeah, you killed my mama, and I know who you are. You know what I'm
Death
saying?
Wish 2010.
Just imagine, like, you know, the stepfather kill your goddamn mother and runs off, and you know it's your stepfather who killed your mama.
And then there's what's the name of the book?
Shit, this nigga about to die. That's the name of the book. This nigga is about to die. You know what I'm saying?
It sounds like a good short novella.
It's a Lifetime movie.
A miniseries.
It's a Lifetime movie that's coming out. It's this nigga is about to die. Yo, have you been seeing what's going on with Puerto Rico?
About the new governor?
No, about how they declared a state of emergency?
No, I did not.
You haven't heard about what the going?
No.
There's some weirdness going on out there. And then I read something. All right, so they're in a state. They declared a state of emergency because apparently women and transgenders are getting killed at a rapid rate out there. And so everybody's like, what the hell is going on right now? And there was a actual, it's a scientific, it's a statistic that after natural disasters, through time, like, it's just natural that there's a lot of gender crimes after natural disasters. So if you think about it, if you look, the natural disaster, they had the first it was the earthquake, and then the hurricane, and then there was the earthquake and everything. And so they've been dealing with a lot of shit over there. And they said for some reason, statistically, if you go through all the countries, and it's written that these people, through after natural disasters, a lot of gender crimes seem to happen. And so
That's so bizarre because that's the last thing you'd think would, you would
well,
think.
because it's all, they say it's because it's no holds barred. At that point, when you don't have water and shit like that, and you're surviving, it's
Survival
just
of the
they
fittest.
don't give a shit about you if you're a woman, if you're a child or whatever. It's they're trying to live. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I see that. I hear you.
So
Wow, that's tough. No, I didn't hear about any of that.
bugged out. It's a pretty bugged out thing. But yeah, that's going on in Puerto Rico right now.
There we go.
Oh hell.
Like all of a sudden, these guys became very bright. And let there be sun.
Oh
There
my
was.
lord. Everything is like just spazzing out with this thing, but we still doing it.
Listen, this is what happens when you have a production crew of one.
So
So you saw the football game. Did you see the football game?
yeah,
And
that shit was trash. That was a trash ass Super Bowl. I mean, everybody, like, come on. As soon as I saw that dude talking shit to Tom Brady
yeah,
in the first quarter, I told you. I said, look, he shouldn't have done that, because if Tom Brady is anything like Michael Jordan, then
You're gonna
that kid
smoke
is
your
going
ass.
to eat his goddamn words for
Exactly.
whatever he said to Tom
I'm
Brady.
gonna smoke you right then and there.
I just knew it. And then they came out, off a halftime interception, touchdown. Run the ball. They got a field goal, and then that was it. And then touchdown. And then it was just they were getting dismantled.
Yeah.
And I just,
It was too much experience.
I just don't like anything Kansas anyway, so I just know. I should shoot. But they said if you would have put money down on Kansas City Chochas, that it would have been, you would have gotten nothing back anyway.
Yeah, they didn't win.
Well, I mean, even if they won.
Oh, because the odds were so...
Yeah, the odds were all whacked out of place because I guess Brady was just...
overwhelming
premise,
power there. I don't know, but yeah, it was a pretty shitty game. I mean, it wasn't much to look forward to.
Yeah, it was trash.
Yeah. So, and then they were constantly being called out of bounds or offsides or whatever, and holding and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah,
it's like, come on, man, you're already losing. You don't need to be getting beat back by your own guys.
And I don't be watching it like that as it is like football. I used to watch football hardcore, but that's when it was in the days when it was good. Like there was I don't know. For me, there was players that I can remember and stuff like that. Nowadays, you just catch me in martial arts and that's it.
Right on. I've never been a big football fan either. I mean, in high school, I played a little football.
I played the hell out of some football, but
to watch it on TV, it's like golf. I'll go out and swing the.
I really want to get into golfing, yo.
Yeah,
it's so crazy. Like I played it all the time, the game, and it's just, I don't know, it's fun to me. I'm like, it'd be dope to really play it.
Really get the ins and outs of it.
You know what I'm saying? Get over there, play with Trump.
Know what all the what are they called? Golf clubs are for.
Yeah, each driver, which one to use,
whatever.
I remember I went to my mom was dating a Japanese dude for some fucking weird reason when we were younger. Yeah, I was like 19, 20.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But he had a son that was in college in Virginia, and we went over. He was throwing a party, and they decided to go. It was a keg party, and like it was all college kids or whatever. Man, crazy. I ended up meeting this drug dealer's son at that time. That's a whole nother story. But anyway, yeah, it was we were getting trashed at this party, and it started snowing hardcore. Mom and the Japanese dude left. And it started snowing hardcore, and I was like, well, obviously I'm not leaving now because I'm snowed in. So I ended up passing out at the couch. The next morning, it was a Saturday morning, wake up, and all of a sudden all these white college kids gather around, and they're watching golf like if it was like cage fighting. Like they were, yeah, let's go. Oh, I was like, God. What are we watching? What just happened that was so ill? I didn't understand it, and so I left that shit alone for a long time. I was like, funny. If you bring up golf around me, I'm like, get away from me.
I want to play golf, but I want to play it like in a place like Caddyshack, from the movie.
This nigga's still in the and I want Rodney Dangerfield to jump out the back of you ever seen that what's that damn golf place that they have? I forget what it's called, but like they're like cages and they're like big places now. They got little spots you sit in, and you can order food there, and you chill and make it a whole night with either a fam or on a date or whatever. And I forget what it's called. Yeah, they're pretty dope. I don't think there's one around here.
Well, thanks for getting my hopes up high, and then all of a sudden slashing them.
I don't know. You gotta see. Is there?
No.
Was there one around here? Let's see. I forget what it's called. What is that?
Steak and Burger. Golf World 2000.
Damn, what was that shit called, yo?
All right, so anyway.
Anyways, Jeep.
You know what? No, I haven't.
Let's cook a little something, get this shit true, eh?
What are you making tonight?
All right, tonight we're going to do a simple, easy, it's going to be Pene Ala Vodka. Mm-hmm. But we're going to throw some artichoke and roasted red peppers in there.
Nice.
So this is going to be interesting. It's going to be good.
Very cool.
Good. Very simple. Show everybody how easy it is to do this one at the crib. And that's about it.
Is there another one of those 10-minute meals?
Probably. Yeah. I already boiled my penne pasta in the back, and all you got to do is once it's boiled good, I pour some cold water on it, and then olive oil so it don't stick together. Stop the cooking process, and it's good to go. You can leave it somewhere, and then just throw it in your sauce when it's ready to go. Y'all about to see how this goes. But the penny's already boiled, so it's 12 minutes for penny to boil to al dente, and put that to the side, and then you'll see how quick it is to chop up everything and do the damn thing.
Cool.
Make a noise in the kitchen.
So those are your red peppers.
All right, yeah, we got artichokes. I don't want to smash them down. I want to get this is gonna be one of the last things that I'm gonna put in there. Red peppers, man, these are good. You don't even need to slice them down. They're good to go. Now we're just gonna cut up our garlic and our shallotes. You know what I mean? Our shallotes. Once again, garlic is just gonna be something that's. I love chunks and all that.
That's what gives it the flavor.
You know?
The spice of life.
Yo, Pene Ala Vodka. I remember when I was younger, I never liked penne.
Really?
Never liked it. But now, shoot, it's amazing.
It's a given now, right?
Oh, Lord. It's amazing. Do a nice little dice. Nothing too crazy. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Just a little dash will do you.
Little dash will do you. Now we get some nice cherry tomatoes. Nice little angles. Make it look good for y'all. I was trying to look for the tri-color ones. Make it all cool and everything, but...
Tri-colored tomatoes.
Yeah. There's not, great. That's the one thing about like up in Maryland and Virginia.
They got a big supply.
Man, those farmers markets out there are unbelievable, man. You go out there and you can find everything beautiful.
You know what they say about those little mom and pop farms, that they're the backbone of this country.
Mm.
If those guys went under, it would be a great loss for the country. Not only for the country, but for the vegetables and the plant and the fruits that they plant.
That's why we call you the senator.
Well, I try. So, we had an impeachment going on today. It started today. And probably more of the same is going to go on.
A bunch of nothing.
A bunch of nothing, exactly. But we got to be hopeful.
I guess they want to do this impeachment because they don't want him running for office again.
Well, they want to make a point as well. I mean, you can't incite a riot and then walk away from it like nothing ever happened.
We'll see what kind of example they make. Anyway, we got shallots here we're cutting. You really think they're gonna make an example out of this guy?
Nah. But if they know it's good for him, they'll do something with him. They'll censor him and then not let him run again.
Right, but they censor him, they're gonna be a lot of people mad and say it's unconstitutional.
They can say whatever they want to say. You're gonna have to pull up some inferring facts to otherwise that.
Mm-hmm. These shallots are beautiful and fresh.
You can smell them from here. They smell delicious as well. Anything fresh and garlicky and tomatoey and just, it's just amazing.
It's like I think in my other life in one of my other lives, I was Italian. It's so crazy how all this goes into this, but it's just it's like a easy dish that's just delicious with not a lot. It's very minimal with a lot, if that's the way of putting it.
Well, because there's a lot of flavors coming in. A lot of different flavors coming together.
That's pretty much it. We got some other ingredients. We'll go through that as we go, but that's pretty much what we got to do for the cutting. So now to get this show started, get yourself a nice saute pan. Look, non-stick. This is fine. This is what I'm working with. Don't be afraid of the butter. Like I said, you're gonna cook like a real restaurant. Don't be afraid of that butter. That butter. Let's get the butter all around. Drop our garlic and tomatoes and shallotes. And here we go, beautiful. Roasted red peppers in here too.
All those colors coming together, smelling great.
You know? Move that around.
A little flick of the wrist.
There we go. Right here, I got a mixture of seasonings. I got some adobo, of course. Some red pepper flakes and some slap your mama. Look at that. Now blend. Smells amazing already. It's like you don't even need anything else.
That's for sure.
Beautiful. We're gonna grab a little bit of salt. Some fresh cracked pepper.
Smell is just.
This is where you need to be careful. I gotta move the mic for this, all right? Because what we're gonna do is gonna pretty much flambe. We gotta get a open flame of that vodka on here. Pull it off the flame. Pour your vodka in there. Tilt. And boom. Just let it go out.
Santa Maria.
Beautiful. Look at all that.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. Add a little bit of tomato sauce. Nothing crazy. And a little bit of chicken stock. Room temperature, of course. Move that around. Let it get nice and smooth. All right. Let that come to a nice bubble. You're going to get a lot of bites of everything in here tonight. It's going to be a good one. Like switching it up. I've always seen it.
Stand out and
And then with the artichoke at the end, I think this is gonna be a good one.
Nice.
It's dope. I've always seen like people put like chicken breast, sliced chicken breast, or some shrimp on there. It's really good with it as well. And at this point, you got a little thickness there. So now we can add some of the cream and cheese. Nice
consistency.
Yeah, nice color. And a little bit more will be alright. There we go. Old school Pene Ala Vodkas were always really pink.
Yeah, that's like the way I've seen them, real pink.
Yeah, I like them, you know.
A little off.
Yeah.
I like them. I like it just creamy. I don't care what the color is. I like it creamy.
So at this point, what we're gonna do is lower the heat just a little bit, and penne in there. Coño. Some more butter. Be afraid of the butter, like I said.
You're on your side.
Move it around. Let it do its thing. Beautiful. Let it get to a little boil again, but just put this cheese in there. And of course, the artichoke. This thing is pretty much done. Yeah. Turn that heat off. Time to plate. Now just plate. Make it very simple. Look very cheesy. You got the artichokes.
Yeah, melted
Artichoke,
cheese.
roasted red pepper.
Melted cheese is holding on to those noodles, the panini noodles. Wow. Look how pretty, everybody.
And you have it, Penne Ala Vodka, roasted red pepper, and artichoke.
Basically 10-minute meal.
Bussin', making noise in the kitchen.
Yod.
Yeah, the kick is very subtle at the end, but I think the veggie and everything else makes up for it's pretty good, pretty good.
Well, it tastes like you're eating meat almost. You know?
Almost, yeah, just
The artichoke
tasting the
gives it a lot-
artichoke, yeah.
Yeah, the artichoke gives it a lot of texture.
That's interesting. I don't know why I never liked this when I was younger. I think maybe the pinkness when I don't know, it's very different seeing Penne Ala Vodka back in the day and nowadays. Like nowadays it looks appetizing. But then back in the day it was always just like a pink fucking sauce with penne. You'd be like, what is this? I think if I'm not mistaken, back in the day Penne Ala Vodka was like
An
the
expensive meal to make.
yeah, for Italians.
Well, pasta in general was, that's why pasta is such a popular hit, because you could fill so many people. And again, I would definitely pay for this.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
Very quick, easy.
Delicious filling. Delicious
how's it go?
tasting.
If people are just tired of regular, pasta with meat
Oh my
sauce,
God, absolutely.
this is the way to go. You can make things very easy on you. You just need to get. I just got a half a pint of vodka, and didn't even use the whole half pint.
Right on.
So that shows you how much vodka you need. You probably need a cup with that amount of pasta, like a cup or a half a cup.
Right on.
Mm.
Because it did flame up high.
Stay burning for a little minute.
Cooked it up nicely.
You know what I'm saying? You got that taste of vodka.
And then that little kick afterwards is still with me. I love it.
Yeah, that slap your mama, man, is something crazy.
And it works differently with everything that it goes on.
Everything that goes on, yeah.
All of a sudden, it tastes different than the last time you had it and stuff like that.
And then
Always good.
And if I really make like some gumbo, then you'll taste the hell out of that slap your mama.
Right on.
That's like, I guess, what it was really made for.
Gumbos.
Gumbos and yeah, etouffees, stuff like that. I haven't made a gumbo or etouffee in a minute. I made a gumbo for one of our episodes that wasn't aired. I was like, 5-6 months ago.
Yeah, could you believe that?
Well,
we've been making noise in the kitchen for a while.
you know what I'm saying? It's just now that everybody is seeing these episodes.
Right.
But like, we wasn't gonna go out here, raw dog, virgins, go come out here and bust quick.
I'm sure there was some kind of other analysis we could have used, but no, that's fine.
You got Subway stories?
My whole life is a Subway story. No, I was going across the bridge yesterday, and I was not. No, I really don't. I really don't see life as in stories like that.
Let's say what do we talk about today?
We talked about the coronavirus.
Mm-hmm.
A great deal on that. We talked on. We talked about a whole lot of crazy stuff, just in and out everywhere.
Can't remember a lot of it right now.
We talked about making penne pasta.
Thinking of Pene Ala Vodka, think about like styles of cooking and everything. I know Mom made it probably once in her life at, when I was young or whatever, and I was like, But I can guarantee you that there wasn't no flambeing involved. There was just pour the vodka in, and this is what you get.
Right on.
And if you think about a lot of people at that time are not going to do that.
Nobody had the skills. Nobody thought they had the skills,
I think the first time I've seen flambeing like in front of me was Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, when he was following the recipe and he flambéed and burned down his kitchen. And that was the first time I saw that, and it was like telling you, don't do that dumb shit.
Be careful with the flambeing.
You know what I'm saying? But then when I first got to school, the first school I went to, they showed me how to like really properly do it. Because I remember I was trying to be all inventive when I was young, and I really loved Hennessy, so I was trying to make like Hennessy chicken.
No, I had a buddy of mine in high school that used to make Bananas Foster's flambe.
That's some good shit right there.
So he introduced me to the whole Bananas Foster's thing to begin with. I was like, oh my God. And then to see it flammed up. Flamboyant. So it was pretty cool. And
that's a good dessert.
Oh my God.
I'm going to have a couple episodes coming out here where I'll do some dope ass desserts.
Ice cream, and you pour that over put some ice cream over that.
That's a wrap.
It sure enough is. That's for sure.
Good.
It's just like, leave me a spoon and close the door behind you.
And it'll get you that calamari.
That it will.
Shit. But I think back in the Subway story that I tell you was I had that Pene Ala Vodka the first time that my mom cooked it or whatever, and I've always seen it because we've always been around a lot of Italians being in New York. But it was in this house in 37 Underhill Place in Harrison. Yeah, I can remember. But that house, there's a lot of wild stuff that happened in that house, and that was just the beginning of what would come. You know what I'm saying? But
it was a sign of things to come.
The sign that nobody saw. You know what I'm saying? But I remember one time like that Pene Ala Vodka, because Vanessa's mother was Italian, and so like I would get some of the Italian stuff from there as well. You know what I mean? But there was one night. How can I tell this?
Yikes!
So, this dude Ed, my ex stepfather, was like he'd get trash beyond belief. And like he'd snort down lines now that you look at it, and he'd be gone. Yeah,
I remember those days clearly.
You know what? I'm not gonna tell this story.
Right, so obviously it goes down two lanes.
Yeah. There's no good way of telling that story right there.
No, there's some stories that just have to be left to.
I think but like this was. Let's say I was 12 years old there. Yeah, I was 12 years old. And this nigga was so trash. I seen him like take his pistol, because he was a police officer, and put it in his mouth. And he was like, I should just end this shit right now.
You would have done
And
everybody a favor.
I was just standing there like, is this nigga really about to do this shit? And
Bap, bap.
so that's where I'll stop the story. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it goes crazy. So a subway story that cannot be touched.
Yikes. Or told. Dun, 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 dun.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe in the future, because I got some subway stories that shouldn't be touched or told, but I do need to tell them. You know what I'm saying? So if you do have things that maybe you need to let out, man, just do that shit when the time is right.
When the time is right, exactly. But, you know, maybe sometimes sometimes it feels like the time is never right, but you have to do it anyway. You know? Just because you got to get it off your chest.
I had a song called Off My Chest. It was like one of the first songs that I wrote. It was pretty crazy. It talked about a lot of stuff, you know what I'm saying? But, man, if I was to put into play a lot of things that do need to be told, I don't know. I need to be careful because there's certain people involved that I just need to take care of that, you know what I'm saying? They'll know when I let them. You know, not y'all. You know what I'm saying? You know, so that's what it is. I don't know, not a lot today. You know what I'm saying? Well, it's been a crazy week. And
yeah, it's been a bit of a crazy week for all of us. Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. Head spaces are in certain places, so it's like these are one of the weeks that you just need to fall back and kind of.
Well, and the weather's been a little crazy here too. You know, there's been a lot of cloudy, gloomy days, waiting for it to shower or waiting for it to do something, and it doesn't. Sometimes it doesn't come, but you wait all day.
I feel like this is the part of the pandemic where people were talking about where like it's like everything is like it's slow. It's like you got no choice but to just hold on right now. You just gotta hold on. Yeah. It's like everything that's good is gonna happen. Like it's gonna happen. It's not happening right now. It's gonna happen. That you just gotta sit back and like god. Yeah. It's like everything is just like come on.
And we see the numbers going our way. So let's continue doing what we're doing at least for a little while longer and see if we can get this behind us. You know. So wear those masks, wash those hands, you know, give everybody a distant hug. That's all you can do.
And smoke weed. And that's about it. You know what I'm saying? Not much you can do other than that.
A little bit of marijuana goes a long way, eh?
That's the only thing that's keeping some people sane.
Exactly. Probably me.
I see one thing right now that's in my environment. There's a lot of people in school. I think that's getting to school. You know what I mean? If you have the time now, focus on something to keep your brain occupied. You know what I'm saying? I got school and cooking. I am engulfing myself in, and I'm even dabbling around in music when But that's not something we're gonna, dig the. There's certain goals that have to be met, and we gonna goddamn it do that. You know what I mean?
Right on. Same here. I mean, I believe everybody's got some irons in the fire, and I think I usually don't tell people what I'm up to. I just do it, and then if it works out, it works out. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But either way,
yeah, I've learned
affect anybody else.
I've learned not to tell anybody shit.
Yeah.
Yep.
So and I prefer it that way, but but these days it's a little different, So, but I think everything's gonna work out in the long run. Things are being done that had to been done. It's just that simple. So, and then we move on from there. Hopefully the new year, the next couple of months will bring me some schooling and get me certified to do something that I can hopefully work until I'm retired at.
Just get shit done
and do what you got to do.
Nah, man.
But a lot of the stress, that I had been feeling, a lot of it has been relieved and stuff like that. So I think things are getting better, in the sense, at least mentally and emotionally, they're getting better.
Yeah. So emotionally, you gotta get control of things. You know what I mean? We can't let the other, what do you want to call them, things of the world get us all riled up. Right. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta take it. It is what it is at this point. I think everybody's life is just like I said earlier to Shorty. Everybody got problems. Everybody's at a standstill right now.
Exactly.
So take it for what it is, and let's just keep conquering. You know what I'm saying? But I can't wait for Friday to watch this goddamn movie.
Well, that's the other thing I wanted to talk about is the movie. I mean, there's a movie that comes out this Friday.
What the hell is it? It's Jehovah's, the Black Messiah, something in the Black Messiah, all about the Black Panthers.
Right.
That shit looks hard.
Judas and the Black Messiah.
There we go, Judas and the Black Messiah.
But it looks like a very interesting movie, and I think it's something that everybody should, not
Perfect timing to come out.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about Black History Month, and we're talking about getting to know people, and definitely, you can't judge a person. Well, you should never judge a person, but you can't judge a person until you've walked in their shoes, until you've seen what they've seen, bled the way they bled. So little insights into these people's lives and into these movements means a lot to a lot of people, and they want to have those stories heard. So this is definitely good.
Interesting stories. I mean, this is a true story, and like I've read a lot about this whole movement and everything like that. Even before I was locked up, like I would read about it. It's just interesting to me. But then when I got locked up, I dug into the story of the Black Panther and Martin Luther King and stuff like that. I preferred reading realistic shit than goblins and ghouls and all that nonsense that a lot of my friends were reading. I was like, nah, I don't want to read none of that.
Well, there's been a couple of movies this year that have really, tried to get into the spirit of Black History Month, and not only into the spirit of Black History Month, but into the historical value of a story. The other one recently was A Night in Miami.
Oh yeah.
So that which I haven't seen either, but I would love to see soon.
One thing I could bet, President Biden ass gonna be front row to all these black movies with his appropriating ass. Anyway.
Nice.
Him and his black side piece is gonna be there front row watching all this shit.
Leave my man alone.
Yeah,
he's working hard. He's working
fight
hard.
the power, motherfucker.
He's working hard. Leave him alone.
Snap, you got anything?
No, I think that's it. I think we had a great night, and I think the dinner was superb, like always. Can't beat that. On that note.
Yeah, it's been a weird couple days for the Super Bowl and everything with this taping, but still we bringing you some goodness, you know what I'm saying? Next week we going to be back some more, and everything's going to be inputted, and output is going to be hard. There's going to be videos, more content coming out very soon. Just bear with me. It's a lot going on, you know what I'm saying, as far as the production, you know what I'm saying, but we got this. But shop at the store, www.makingnoiseinthekitchen.com.
Exactly. Go buy your tools. Get yourself ready. Buy somebody a gift. Say hello with a gift.
You know what I'm saying? And also follow us on all social networks at Making Noise in the Kitchen. I am your boy, Carlo Banga, a.k.a. Don Perignon.
And I am Uncle Mario, a.k.a. the Senator. Woo!
Making Noise in the Kitchen, y'all.
Have a good night.